Okay, hello. We're going to tell you a bit about creating an online course with a foreign partner. My name is Henri Annala,
And I'm Marianna Leikomaa.
and
And
we're both language teachers here at TAMK, and hope you find this presentation interesting. All right.
so first, just a little bit of background on what was actually done. So basically, the idea was to create a fully online course in English speaking and listening. We realized very early that here in Tom we don't actually have anything like that, and a lot of our online courses they focus too much on reading and writing, and we wanted to do something slightly different. And then we got really lucky. We found a foreign partner to work with us. We met, or rather, we didn't meet, with a Dutch teacher from the Stenden University, and she came to Tampere. And unfortunately, we did not, as I said, have time to meet with her. But she also said that she'd have interest in doing something very similar to what we were doing. So after she returned home, we started exchanging emails. And our goals turned out to be extremely similar. We both realized that our students need actual working practice with actual English, with actual foreigners, and of course, creating an online course here worked really, really well. After we exchanged the initial emails, we of course started doing the normal pedagogical planning, what should we do and how should we do it? And of course, for this, we required quite a lot of tools in addition to the original email. So we met a couple of times using Google Hangouts and Skype, but very quickly realized that those tools were not sufficient for us, and they would not be sufficient to our students, even though they could also use them. And that's why when we started actually thinking about how to build a course and what tools would be needed.
So then a few words about how we worked. On the right-hand side in the slide, you can see the breakdown of the tools that we used mainly. We ended up choosing Iliademy as our learning management system. We first tested out several different options and we just, by trial and error basically found out that Iliademy answered our needs the best out of those that we tested. Of course, there are lots and lots of different options available online, but we ended up with this one, and to this day we have been pretty satisfied with it. I think it has filled in all the requirements that we had more or less. We tested, for example, Google Sites just to find out that it wasn't really a good platform for giving rights to students and teachers that differ from each other, and just basically managing a course. That was a bit difficult with it. And then we also tested some other options, but this was the one we started with. And then we used Google's tools, Hangouts and Google Drive, to work with each other, and also in the course that students used them as well. What we had in the course was a very clear division of work. So when we planned the course, the three of us, we divided the work so that there were three sections in the course, and each of us had one section that we were responsible of. And then we started working on that section, and of course giving feedback and comments to each other all along the way. We didn't have a lot of video meetings because we thought that it would be more time efficient to just focus on what we did, giving feedback, commenting, and then meeting only if it was needed. And when we had video meetings, we kept them really short, to the point. All the time, everything that we did was shared with everybody else and also editable, so we could in real time comment and give feedback and work together. And actually, one of the leading principles when designing this course was to do it like the students would do it, in order to foresee potential problems or situations that we might not have thought about if we hadn't gone through it ourselves. So basically we had never met in real life as the students, and we worked only using these tools that the students also used, basically. So mirroring the student experience a lot. Okay.
So here we have a slide of what the course actually looked like. And as Henri mentioned, it was divided into 3 sections, and each section had a teacher who was responsible for creating all the materials for that, and all the stuff that was first put in Google Drive, and then commented, and then put on Iliademy. This was actually a really good way of doing things because somebody was always in charge, but it also meant that the other 2 teachers knew what the others were doing. So in the end, when we started actually implementing the course, each teacher would be able to basically take responsibility of any of the sections. All sections contain both materials created by us, mostly a lot of videos, a lot of audio, but also tasks the students needed to do together. So we really needed the students to collaborate with each other using mostly Google Hangouts. They had tasks they had to work together with, then they had to create either an audio file or a video file, and then to share it with the rest of us, the rest of the groups, and of course with the teachers. And this way, the students actually they got to learn all sorts of different kind of tools they are going to need later on in their working lives. As we just demonstrated, we needed all these tools in our working lives. And I think it also gave the students a good perspective on actually working together with people who do not share the same language with them. So it was actually a real life situation for them.
And one special feature of this course, because this was English speaking and listening, we focused on speaking and listening. We also gave feedback to students, mainly using audio. So we recorded our speech, and then the students could listen to the feedback. So we didn't use written feedback that much. So that was also something that we found was quite actually time consuming, but also quite fun.
Yeah, I think it was one of the things students liked the best, in addition to actually meeting each other. I think that was one of the big feedbacks as well. And here we have a rather boring slide of our Google Drive, basically sharing everything with everybody. That was really the key here, both with the students and when working together here.
Okay, then to summarize a couple of points. The whole process was surprisingly easy. This was the first time we did it. We have some, technical knowledge, but not that much. We're basically just ordinary teachers, language teachers, not that tech savvy at the end. But it was easy for us. So anybody could basically do it if we could. So you don't have to have any special technical skills. You just need to have some sort of an idea what to begin with, and then just, follow that idea. And we also found out that it's really easy or easier to instruct students if we know where they come from, if we have been in their shoes, basically, tried out what they try and see things as they have seen it. And I think this philosophy in learning or in designing the course was a really crucial thing in the whole process, so we could really see how it would look like from the student's perspective, because we went through it ourselves. And we have done this now 3 times. So 3 implementations, and we're continuously developing the course based on the feedback and our ideas. So it's still evolving all the time. And if everything goes well, we're going to do it the 4th time next autumn. And yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, and I think probably the best thing about this has been that we've been actually able to collaborate with a person we've never actually met. And we think it would be wonderful to meet with our Dutch partner. It would be awesome to be in the same room with her. But it's really not a requirement. You can do these kind of things without actually ever meeting in person. I think that's really what this modern technology, so to speak, enables us to do.
Yeah, and it really feels that we have actually met her, in like face to face, even though we haven't, because we've met her several times through online video conferencing calls, and it just feels that we've been in the same room with her several times. So it's funny how you really get that illusion when using video technology. Okay, I think that was all. Hopefully our presentation was of interest and helpful. So if you have any questions, you can email us. You can see our email addresses in the slide. And yeah.
And you can also, if you want to, read the article from the TAMK conference journal that was published in collaboration with the TAMK conference in February. So if you want to read our notes from there, that's also available online.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.